Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss Grade 7 Mscs Term 1 Unit 3 East Asia. Throughout this year, we are going to learn about different regions of Asia. In Term 1, we will focus on East Asia, and then in Term 2, we will move to the South Asian region, and finally in Term 3, we will learn about Central Asia. When you move to grade 8, you will continue learning about other regions of Asia, such as Southwest Asia, including UAE. So by the end of these two grades, you will be having a good understanding about the geography of Asian continent. In today's lesson, we are going to begin our journey by exploring East Asia. We will learn where East Asia is located, which countries belong to this region, and the important geographical features that makes it unique. So I encourage you to listen carefully, take notes whenever necessary, and think about how geography affects the lives of the people in different countries. Now, without wasting any more time, let's begin our lesson on geography of East Asia. Before we start the lesson about East Asia, let's do a quick brainstorming activity. I want to check how much you already know about the continent of Asia. On the screen, you can see a map of India and its neighboring countries. Let's answer these questions together. The first question is, in which continent is India located? I hope all of you know the answer. Yes, India is located in the continent of Asia. Now let's look at the second question. Name all the countries that share a border with India. Take a few seconds and observe the map carefully. You should be able to identify the countries. Yes, they are Pakistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and Myanmar. These are India's neighboring countries. Now let's move to the question number 3. Which neighboring country of India is the largest in size? So the answer is China. China is the largest neighboring country of India and also one of the largest countries in the world. Finally, question number 4. Which country shares the longest border with India? The answer is Bangladesh. India shares its longest international border with Bangladesh. Excellent. If you were able to answer most of these questions, it means you already have some background knowledge about Asia. This will help you understand today's lesson much better. Now we have refreshed your previous knowledge. So let's move on the specific region, that is East Asia. We will learn about its location and the countries that belong to this region. Now that we have refreshed our previous knowledge, let's look at our learning objective. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to achieve two main objectives. The first objective is to locate the East Asian countries on a map. In other words, by the end of the today's lesson, you should be able to identify where each East Asian country is located and recognize them on a map without any difficulty. The second objective is to explore the main features of East Asian countries. This means we will learn about their geographical features such as mountains, rivers, plains, islands, climate, and other important characteristics that makes each country unique. As you can see on the map, East Asia consists of many countries like China, Mongolia, North Korea, etc. Let's learn about them. Now look at the map on the screen, children. So East Asia is located in the eastern part of the Asian continent. You can see them in colored. They are staying along the Pacific Ocean. This region includes some of the world's most influential countries. Let's identify them one by one. The largest country in East Asia is China. To the north of China, we have Mongolia. Moving further east, we can see North Korea and South Korea. These are two separate countries located in the Korean Peninsula. Similarly, further to the east, we have Japan, which is an island country made up of many islands in the Pacific Ocean. South of Japan, you can see Taiwan, which is an island located off the southeastern coast of China. On this map, you can see Hong Kong and Macau too. These are not independent countries. They are special administrative regions or SARs of China. They have their own local governments and economic system, but they are part of China. So for this lesson, remember the main places we are studying: China, Mongolia, North Korea, South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, and we will also recognize Hong Kong and Macau as special administrative regions. I want you to spend a few seconds looking carefully at this map and then notice where each country is located and which countries are close to one another. I will give a map of East Asia in the description so that you can do a map practice also. I hope you have understood the location of East Asian countries. Now that we know which countries are part of East Asia, let's explore some of the important features of this region. East Asia is one of the most diverse and developed regions of the world. It has both natural features and man-made features that have shaped the lives of the people for thousands of years. First, let's talk about the natural features. East Asia has many rivers, mountains, plains, etc. These natural features provides water for drinking, farming, transportation, and many other daily activities. Some of the most important rivers in China are Yangtze River and Yellow River, both located in China. These rivers have supported agriculture and helped civilization to grow for thousands of years. Then East Asia is also famous for some amazing man-made features. One of the best known examples is the Great Wall of China. It was built many centuries ago to protect China from invasions. Another important man-made feature is the Grand Canal, which connects different parts of China and has been used for transportation and trade for hundreds of years. So as we discussed earlier, the major countries in East Asia are China, Mongolia, Japan, then North Korea, South Korea, Taiwan, etc. These countries are some countries are home to many important cities. For example, Beijing is the capital of China, Tokyo is the capital of Japan, Seoul is the capital of South Korea, etc. These cities are well known for their modern technology, industries, and cultural importance. Another important feature of East Asia is the mountain ranges. The Himalayan mountain ranges are among the highest mountain ranges in the world. Together with the surrounding seas, they influence the climate and geography of the region. Similarly, East Asia have also experienced many important historical events. During the Second World War, several countries in this region faced conflicts and foreign control. However, after the war, many of these countries rebuilt their economies and developed very quickly. Today, East Asia is one of the world's leading regions in technology, manufacturing, education, and economic development. It is shown for its modern cities, advanced infrastructure, and strong industries. So, by understanding these natural features, historical developments, and modern achievements, we can better understand why East Asia is such an important region in the world. Now, let's move to the next part of the lesson. Now that we have an overview of East Asia, so let's explore one of the most important country, that is China, which is the biggest country in the region. So please take out your textbook and turn to the page that discusses China's land and resources. We are going to complete activity 1 together. So as we learned earlier, East Asia has many important natural and man-made features. China is a great example of this. So let's begin with the natural resources. China has been having a lots of mountains, rivers, minerals, and other natural resources. These resources have helped people live, farm, and develop the country for thousands of years. Now let's look into the man-made features. One of the most famous landmark in the world is the Great Wall of China. It was built over many centuries, beginning around 200 BCE and continuing until 1644 CE. The main purpose of Great Wall of China to protect China from invasions coming from north, especially Mongolian sides and Central Asian side. Today it is one of the greatest engineering achievements in history and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Next, let's move to the China's natural features. China has two very important rivers, the Yellow Rivers, also known as the Huang River and the Yangtze River. These rivers have provided water for farming, transportation, and trade. They have played a major role in the growth of Chinese civilization. These rivers are connected by another amazing man-made structure called the Grand Canal. The Grand Canal is one of the oldest and longest canal in the world. It was built to improve transportation and trade between different parts of China. Okay, now let's answer the question in the activity 1. So the first question is, what are some of the important features of China? So the answer is that China has important natural features such as mountains, rivers, waterways, etc. And also man-made resources like Great Wall of China, buildings, bridges, dams, and the Grand Canal, etc. Now let's look at the map on the right side. Can you identify the capital cities shown on the map? So the capital city of China is Beijing. The capital city of Japan is Tokyo. The capital city of South Korea is Seoul. So similarly, you find all the capital cities of other countries which are lying in East Asia. Please remember these capital cities because they are very important and may appear in your class activities or upcoming assessments. So from this activity, we have learned that China's natural and man-made resources have helped its people develop agriculture, transportation, trade and civilization over many thousands of years. So now let's continue to the next part of the lesson and discover more interesting features of East Asia. Now let's move to the activity 2. Here also we need the textbook. Just open the textbook and go to the map given in the second page of the lesson. So let's begin with the question number 1. It is kind of fill in the blanks. The Yangtze River empties into the dash East China Sea near the major port city of dash, that is Shanghai. The Yangtze River is also known as the Dash River, long river, because it is the longest river in China. Another important city through which the Yangtze River flows is Chongqing. Now let's move to the question number 2. The Dash River, the Yellow River, also known as the Huang River, also flows towards the East China Sea. During the Yuan dynasty, canals were built to connect the Yellow River with the capital city Dash, Beijing. Now, third one is, let's continue with the question 3. So, across the northern part of East China Sea, we find two countries that share the same language and culture but are divided into two separate nations. These are North Korea and South Korea. The capital city of South Korea is Seoul. Now, question number 4. To the east of Korean Peninsula is the island country of Japan. Japan's capital city is Tokyo, one of the largest and most modern cities in the world. Next, question number 5. In the East China Sea, we also find the islands of Taiwan. The capital city of Taiwan is Taipei. So, just look into the words and fill in the blanks in your textbook. Finally, let's look at question number 6. In southern China, one of the most important industrial cities is Guangzhou. It is located near Hong Kong and plays a major role in trade, manufacturing and transportation. So excellent. As you can see, this activity is not just about filling in the blanks. It also helps us understand where important rivers, seas, cities and neighboring countries are located. The more you practice using this map, the better you understand the geographical features of the region, and your geographical skills will improve. Now that we have completed this activity, and now we can move to the next activity. Now activity 3. In this activity, we are going to use the map and our previous knowledge to answer a few geographical questions. Before I reveal each answer, I would like to pause for a moment and try to answer it by yourself. Then we will check the answers together. So the question number 1, what is the largest mountain range in southwestern China? Yes, the correct answer is the Himalayas. The Himalayan mountain range forms part of border between China and other South Asian countries. It is one of the highest mountain ranges in the world. Now let's move to the question number B. Which country is directly north to central China? So the answer is yes, Mongolia. If you look at the map, you can clearly see Mongolia lies directly to the north of China. Next, question number C. Which three countries are located to the northeast of China? The correct answer is Russia, North Korea, and Japan. Remember that Japan is an island country located in the east of the Korean Peninsula. Finally, question number D. What is the tallest mountain on earth? So the correct answer is Mount Everest. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. It is the part of Himalayan mountain ranges. It is located on the border between Nepal and China. So excellent. I hope you were able to answer most of these questions correctly. Activities like this help to improve our map reading skills and understand the locations of important physical features and neighboring countries. The more you practices using map, the easier geography becomes. Now let's continue with some other topic. Now let's move on to the activity 4. In this activity, we are going to label the map using the words given in the box. Before looking at the answers, take a few moments to observe the map carefully and see if you can identify each location on your own. Let's check the answers together. Number 1 is the Himalayan mountains. As we discussed earlier, this mountain range lies along the border between China and South Asia. It is the home to Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world. So number 2 is India. India is one of the largest country in South Asia and is located to the southwest of China. Although today's lesson is not about India, it is important to know where India is and how it shares borders with China. So number 3 is Mongolia. Mongolia is the country directly north to China. It is well known for its vast grasslands, then deserts and other low population density. Then number 4 is North Korea. It is located in the northern part of the Korean peninsula and shares the border with China. Finally, number 5 is South Korea. It is located in the southern part of Korean peninsula. South Korea is known for its advanced technology, modern cities, and strong economy. Its capital city is Seoul. So excellent. I hope you were able to identify these places correctly. Remember, learning geography is not just about memorizing names. It is also about understanding where places are located and how they are connected to one another. The more you practice reading maps, the more confident you will become. Now that we have completed this activity, now let's move to the next activity. So activity 5 is a mini plenary session. It asks you to list 5 new sentences or new facts that you learned about East Asia, especially about China. So before looking at the example answers, I would like you to think about it for a moment. So what are the 5 new facts that you have learned today? If you have your notebook with you, write them down now. I will give you a few seconds to think. Now let's compare your answer with the examples on the screen. So the first example is about Great Wall of China. We learned that it was built in different stages from around 200 BCE to 1644 BCE, like that. And the second point is about the Yangtze River. We learned that it is China's longest river. Then the third point we learned is Yellow River, Grand Canal, etc. Then the fourth point is China has many valuable natural resources. Himalayan mountains border China. And finally, we learned that Taiwan is an island located at the east of China, and its capital city is Taipei, etc. Okay, you can write your own answers if your answers are different, but based on what you learned in today's lesson, that is perfectly fine. The important thing is that you can explain what you have learned using your own words. So well done, everyone. I hope you understood the concept well. So far we discussed. So I hope you all got an excellent mark in the mini plenary. You were able to write 5 facts about China. Now let's again move to activity 6. So in this activity, we are going to read a short passage about importance of canals in ancient China and then answer a few questions together. So as I read the passage, I want you to pay attention to main ideas. Think about why canals were so important to the people of ancient China. So let's begin. So long ago, canals were built near rivers so that boats, also called barges, then could carry goods over long distances. Before modern roads, railways, and airplanes, canals were one of the earliest ways to transport goods from one place to another. So these canals made it much faster and easier to move food, animals, and even people across different parts of China. This helped trade during uh, at that time itself and grow, and also allowed people to communicate more easily. One of the most famous canals in ancient China is Grand Canal. So it connects China's two major rivers, the Yellow Rivers and the Yangtze River. Because of this connection, people could transport goods between northern and southern China much more efficiently. Another important canal is the Lingkou Canal. It was built during the Qin dynasty in southern China and is considered one of the earliest engineering achievements in the Chinese history. Similarly, the Grand Canal is also known as the longest canal in the world. Its construction began in the 5th century BCE and it has been maintained and used for many centuries. Even today, parts of canals are still in use. So now let's answer to the questions together. So the question number A, what is the largest canal in the world? So you will get the answer from the passage. If you didn't understand, read the passage once again. So the answer is the Grand Canal. So question B asks when it was built. So construction of Grand Canal begins in the Yes, 5th century BCE. So finally, question number C asks us to list at least 3 reasons why canals were important to the people of ancient China. Note 3, we are able to write at least 6 now. Anyway, we will discuss 3 important reasons. First, canals made transporting goods, food, animals, and people much faster and easier. Secondly, they helped carry goods over long distances, making trade more efficient. Then, thirdly, canals connected important rivers, allowing people to travel and transport goods between different regions of China. So, excellent work. I hope you have understood the importance of canals in ancient China. Now, let's complete the next activity for this lesson, that is activity 7. So, this activity is designed to help you review everything we have learned today. So, instead of answering questions one by one, we are going to organize the information using a mind map. So, this is a great way to remember important facts and prepare future assessment. So, let's begin with the first section, that is major rivers. So can you remember the three major rivers of China? Yes, they are Yangtze River, also known as Shangxiang, then the Yellow River, also known as the Huanghe, and the Pearl River or Shujiang. So these rivers have supported farming, transportation, and trade for thousands of years. If you are not able to find, you can do more research on this. You are allowed to do research. Then, and now let's look at the mountain range. The next part, that is mountain range. The most important mountain range we discussed is Himalayas. They are located along the southwestern borders of China and separate China from countries such as India and Nepal of South Asia. So the Himalayas are also home to Mount Everest, the highest mountain on the earth. So now let's identify the seas bordering China. So China is bordered by the East China Sea, the South China Sea, the Yellow Sea, and the Bohai Sea. You can see the map of East Asia and can identify all these seas. These seas are important for fishing, trade, transportation, and international shipping. Next column, let's talk about the countries that shares a border with China. So China shares land borders with many countries, including Russia, Mongolia, North Korea, Vietnam, Nepal, India, Myanmar, Bhutan, Kazakhstan, Laos, Pakistan, etc. This makes China one of the countries with the largest number of neighboring countries in the world. Now let's remember the major cities in China. So Beijing is the capital of China. Shanghai is the country's largest city and one of world's busiest financial center. Then Guangzhou is an important port and industrial city, while Shenzhen is famous for its rapid growth, technology, and innovation. Finally, let's recall the capital cities. The capital city of China is Beijing. It has been the political and cultural center of the country for many years. Now let's look at the sample mind map on the right side. This gives us a quick review of some countries in East and Southeast Asia. For example, China. It is the largest country in East Asia and is well known for Great Wall and its long history. Second is Japan. Japan is an island country with its Tokyo as its capital. Then South Korea is located on the Korean Peninsula and its capital is Seoul. The next is Malaysia. Malaysia is not a East Asian country. It lies in the Southeast Asia. Now Philippines, then Indonesia, then etc. So they are situated in the Southeast Asia, and you will study these countries in greater detail in future lessons. So this activity shows us that a mind map is a useful way to organize information. Instead of memorizing facts one by one, you can group related ideas together, making them much more easier way to understand. Now let's move to the activity 8. So in this activity, we are going to read a short passage called Asia in Transition. So this passage explains some important events that took place in East and Southeast Asia during World War II. So as I read the passage, I would like you to listen carefully and think about how these events affected the people living in Asia. So at the beginning of World War II in Asia in 1937, many countries in East and Southeast Asia were controlled by different colonial powers, including Britain, France, Netherlands, the United States, Japan, etc. At that time, many of the countries we know today as independent nations were under foreign rule. However, according to the lesson, Thailand and Republic of China remained independent. They were not a part of any colonial rule. So the lesson also tells us that Japan invaded part of China, including the regions of Manchuria in the northeast. So this led to a long period of conflict that is around 8 years, and many people of China were affected by the war. As the war continued, Japan expanded into other parts of Asia, including the Philippines, Indonesia, and several parts of Pacific or several Pacific islands. The fighting in Asia lasted for about 8 years before the war finally ended. So this was the summary of the passage. Now let's answer the question together. So question number A was, when did World War II begin for people in China? So according to the passage, it is begin in China by 1937. And which countries were colonized at the time? So the answer is that many parts of East and Southeast Asia were under the control of European powers such as the British, French, and the Dutch, as well as the United States and Japan. The question C asks, which country were not colonized at that time? So according to the information in this lesson, Thailand and the Republic of China remained independent. So finally, question D asks, which states of United States is closest to Southeast Asia? So the answer is Hawaii. It's an island which is situated in the uh, Southeast Asia. So as we can see from this activity, World War II had a major impact on East Asia. It changed the history of many countries and influenced their development for many afterwards or many years afterwards. So learning about these historical events helps us understand why the region is the way, how the region is developed as we can see today. Okay, now let's move to the next activity, activity 9. So in this activity, we are going to look into two modern cities of East Asia. One is Osaka in Japan and Chongqing in China. As you see in the picture, both cities are highly developed with tall buildings, modern roads and beautiful skyliners. Have you ever wondered how these cities became so modern? Let's find out together. So after the end of World War II in 1945, many countries in East Asia worked hard to rebuild their economies. So they focused on industrialization, which means building factories and developing industries to produce goods. So what is industrialization? It means building factories and developing industries to produce goods. So this created more jobs and helped their economies grow. So countries like Japan, China, etc. became world leaders in manufacturing technology and export. The second change was urbanization. So what is urbanization? Urbanization means that more people moved from villages and other rural areas to cities in search of better jobs, education and healthcare. As a result, cities like Osaka and Chongqing grew rapidly and became large metropolitan cities. Then another important change was the improvement of infrastructure. The government invested in roads, bridges, railway, airports, seaports, public transportation, etc. So better infrastructure made it easier for people to travel and transport goods and do their businesses smoothly. So as industries grew and infrastructure improved, people's living standard also improved. More people had access to better education, healthcare, then housing and employment opportunities. Finally, East Asia became more connected to the rest of the world. Today, cities like Osaka, Tokyo, Beijing, Shanghai, Chongqing, etc. are major centers of trade, technology, finance, innovation, etc. They play an important role in the global economy today. So if we compare these modern cities with how they looked many years ago, we can clearly see how industrialization and urbanization have transformed the region. The same we can see around us in UAE also, right? Yeah. Think about UAE in olden times and how urbanization and this industrialization and government spending have improved the living in the UAE. So the main idea of the activity is that after World War II, East Asia experienced Rapid development through industrial growth, urbanization, improved infrastructure, better living standard, and stronger global connections. So with that, uh, these economies developed a lot. Okay, now the last activity of the lesson, that is activity 10. In this activity, we will use the words from the word box to complete the passage. This is a review exercise, so it will help us remember the important ideas we have learned throughout this lesson. So before we look at the answers, I want you to read the passage carefully and try to fill in each blank by yourself. So pause the video if you need more time. Once you are ready, let's check the answers together. So now let's check the answers. In the video, I have given the answers in red letter. Let's discuss one by one. So the first answer is city planning. So both ancient city and modern cities require careful planning so that people can live, work, and travel comfortably. So the next answer are ancient cities and modern cities. Although cities have changed over time, both have always needed good planning and organizations, right? Yes. So next we have ports. So ports always help, or they are important because they allow ships to transport goods and connect countries through trade. Next is transportation. So good transportation systems such as roads, railways, bridges connect cities with the towns and farming areas, making travel easy and trade much better. So another important word is infrastructure. So infrastructure includes roads, bridges, clean water systems, drainage system, other facilities that help a city function properly, etc. So infrastructure is also very important. Next is public spaces, commercial areas, residential neighborhoods. So public spaces are places where people gather and relax, right? Similarly, commercial areas are where businesses and markets are located. Then residential neighborhoods are where people live with their families. So finally, we have public hospitals and public schools. Public hospitals provides healthcare for people, while public schools provides education and help prepare young people for the future. Now let's look at the key ideas of the activity. So first, trade and ports have always been important because they allow cities to exchange goods and other regions. Now second, transportation and infrastructure connect people, support businesses and improve daily life. Similarly, well-planned cities include public spaces, commercial areas, residential neighborhoods to meet the needs of the community. Lastly, every successful city needs good public services such as hospitals, schools, because they improve people's quality of life. So the main message of this activity is that cities do not become successful by chance. They grow enough through careful planning, strong infrastructure, reliable transportation, and quality public services. So these features have helped both ancient and modern cities develop and continue to improve. So with that, we have completed all the activities in the textbook. Now we can move to a plenary session. Now here, it is a quick review to help us check how well we understood today's lesson. So I will read each statement one by one before looking at the answer. I want you to decide whether the statement is true or false. If you are watching this video at home, you can pause the video and write down your answers first, or you can tell to yourself. Then we will check them together. So the first one is the Yangtze River is the longest river in China. Is it true or false? The correct answer is yes, true. The Yangtze River is the longest river in China and one of the longest rivers in the world. Now the second question, the Great Wall of China was built to protect China from invaders. The correct answer is yes, true. So one of the main purpose of the Great Wall was to help defend China from invasions coming from the north side, especially Mongolia and the Central Asian region. Next, Japan is connected to China by a land border. The answer is false. Japan is an island country. It is separated from China by the East China Sea, so the two countries do not share a land border. Now, the question number 4. The Grand Canal connects the Yellow River and the Yangtze River. The answer is yes, true. The Grand Canal links these two important rivers and has played a major role in transportation and trade throughout China's history. Next, the last one is industrialization and urbanization helped cities like Osaka and Chongqing grow into modern cities after World War II. So the correct answer is yes, true. So after World War II, many East Asian countries developed industries, improved infrastructure, and expanded their cities, which leads them to be a modern urban centers that we can see today. So excellent work. Let's check your final score. If you answered all 5 questions correctly, congratulations. You have done an excellent job. If you missed out 1 or 2 questions, don't worry. Go back and review today's lesson and you will understand this concept even better. This brings us to the end of our lessons today. Today we learned about the countries of East Asia, their important rivers, mountains, major cities, historical developments, and how the region has grown into one of the most developed parts of the world. Thank you for joining me in today's lesson. Please remember to review your notes, complete any remaining textbook exercises, and continue practices your map reading skills. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's class. I'll see you in our next lesson. If you have any doubt, you can comment in the comment box. See you with another lesson. Bye, children.